All right, hello everyone. Welcome to, welcome to, let me see, make sure this works. Welcome to the alaracanfieldshow, the Awakentohappinessnow global series. Thank you so much for being here with us today. And if you haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. It is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring forward to you these wonderful speakers who are sharing their wisdom, their teachings, their experiences, their activations and processes, and their connection with Source and the divine, to assist us in thriving on our journeys and raising our consciousness, expanding our consciousness, raising our frequency and vibration, etc. So today, my dear friend Cathleena Hailley is back with us, and we're going to be talking about restoring the original soul fragmentation and releasing the imprint of jealousy. So we always have a lot that we talk about, and of course, as we are on the call, Cathleena is always transmitting and working with the energies. And so for those of you who do not know Cathleena, she's been with us many times. We love having her. It's always a high vibe call, and yeah, definitely high vibe and definitely transformational. So Cathleena is an embodiment of the divine feminine who works with the Council of Nine Collective, and in particular with Jesus, Metatron, and other ascended masters. Her coding accesses the womb water of an individual's birth so that they are brought back to their original soul expression, creating a rebirth to allow full expression of the soul's imprint. And as the lineage of the life architect for her crystalline DNA signature, not only carries the frequency of perfect pitch to align to the original human template, earth template, and this universe's template, but continually recalibrates this alignment. Having incarnated as an Arcturian, Andromedan, and as a member of the Council of Nine Galactic Collective, Cathleena brings the knowledge of human patterns of existence, along with her extensive knowledge and work with interplanetary and galactic portals. And through this, she accesses human patterning with galactic information, technologies, and energies to fully access their original soul's blueprint. So we have a lot in store, like always, and it's always so much fun. Of course, Cathleena will be taking some live caller questions as well, working with you in your field. But today, like I said, we are talking about releasing the imprint of jealousy and, of course, restoring the original soul fragmentation. So Cathleena, welcome back to the show. So glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. Excited to be here. Always fun. Always enjoy our co-creating. See what
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, lots of fun things.
So we already have some people with their hand raised. So if you would like to ask and work with Cathleena, you can raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. So let's first of all, there's always so much to talk about, right? When we get together, and there's always some, I find, new information that's coming through with you or from you, right? And so let's can you just give us a brief snapshot of what you see going on with the collective right now? Because I just find there's so much changing, there's so much happening,
Yeah.
and we are going through a major transformational shifts, all of us. I mean, I've just been through massive stuff and still going through it, but getting through. And so all of that is teaching us, showing us, allowing us to come back to who we truly are and remember who we truly are, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, we all hear about, ascension. I say inscension because we are embodying, right, who we are. This is the process, and the veils of illusion and the veils are lifting. And so, really, what's been happening is that we have such an influx of source light, source consciousness that these veils, and think of veils as just like the protectors of information, or the guarding away of information that's been to us. They're thinning, and they're in some cases have released, and so now we have information. We are information. So as our soul, as energy is information, and so now this information is accessible. So it doesn't just mean through the little human mind that we have, awareness. It means that, so information as source consciousness, because it's energy and frequency, means that it's going to challenge you in every aspect of your being. because we want to think of the physical body is kind of a buildup of information. That's what it is. So the cellular body has ways in which it communicates, and it communicates with each other, communicates whatever, and then we're also communicating. So all of this communication is what we're referring to as information. It's frequency, it's energy. And everything is frequency and energy, right? And so all we're doing in human existence is matching frequencies in order to be comfortable, whatever our level of comfort. So, we've had the story, of course, that's been playing out, we call the false matrix story, that's been given to us of what life is and what our opportunities are for eons of time. And that story is a particular resonance or frequency energy. And that story we've been perpetuating over and over again through eons of time, whatever, from Gaia to our physical body, basically, is the bigger piece in this. And so now that we have, we'll call it new information, it's not really new, it's authentic information about who we really are, that's streaming in, through consciousness, or as consciousness. Consciousness itself is information. So as this is streaming, now that story that we have been aligning to, have been, created as, is now being tested and bumped against and broken apart, so to speak. So this illusion that this story had like a physicality, like a density to it, we're beginning to realize that it's just energy and frequency, so like water, so it's breaking apart. So this is kind of what's I'm channeling this, that's coming through, but it's what's occurring literally to all of us. So your physical body is the representation of your belief systems, because we think it's through the mind, but the mind is communicating to the body, communicating energetically, and so on and so on. And so as we are being inundated with energies and frequencies, just sort of in the ether, just like how cell phones and texts pass through the air or whatever, that's information, that's all energy and frequency. This is the same idea, that now source consciousness is very present with authentic codes of information. So as that's occurring, it's literally shifting the frequencies within the physical body. And so this is what's happening. So your whole being is being changed, shifted and changed. And the more that you surrender, that faith, trust, and surrender, the letting go, the releasing all that is not you, the more all that is you will come in and create, which is beautiful. So that's what's occurring now in the collective. How you operate with this is how your life is going to show up, because we are creator beings, and we literally create through our thought and our emotion. So whatever you are aligning your thought and your emotion to is what's going to show up in your reality. And so you will have variances in realities. There are timelines. There's really kind of three timelines that have shown up. There's the timeline of the neutrality place, which is a false neutrality, kind of like wanting to hang between this ascension process, and then this other timeline of this transhumanism timeline, which is all energetics with electronics and things like that, and that's trying to stop this original coding from coming through, which it can't stop it, but you have free will. So in your own free will, whatever you're choosing to align to. So this is why I keep, everything that I do is about supporting the space for that to release. So I, in my own energetics, carry the 0 point. I'm also one of the original seeders of this planet. I'm a calibrator. So you're stepping into my energetic field. The calibration is occurring. It's going to occur continually, particularly as I'm speaking in energetics. I'm also not from this dimensionality. So the geometry of the how I chose to incarnate carries original source codes, but activated original source codes of creation. So it's I'm sort of here to help carry this through, support it. Let's just say in the easiest way to do this. So
Awesome. So, lots of change, lots of transformation, but of course, again, like you said, it's also about what is our intention, what is our focus, what are we aligned with at the moment, right? And that is what is going to show up for us. So let's talk about, restoring the original soul fragmentations. What does that mean for people who may be new to you or new to your work? What does that mean, restoring the original soul fragmentation? And then we'll talk about releasing the imprint of jealousy.
Yeah. Well, the soul fragments when we come into a physicality, and I've shared this many times, and this will be a book at some point, hopefully soon, because I'll be sharing it so many times. So we are informations, like I said before, and we take this information called you. It's basically your soul is like a library of information. I think of source consciousness as a giant library of information. We're a smaller library of the giant library. And the way that we engage in a physicality is you take this library of information called you download it into your physical brain. So the library of information is like the software in a computer. The software tells the computer what to do. And so your brain is like the computer. So then you download it into the brain, and then you communicate to the body. And think of the body as like a giant mall of people. So I'm either in synergistic communication or I'm not. What am I doing? So the first thing is I'm not downloading myself into the physical brain. What we're doing is, because of the false matrix. So, and I'm sure that this audience pretty much knows what that is, but if people are listening and don't know, that we've basically been given a perception of the world, that we then are taking our consciousness and aligning it to that and using that information to create. And so, by doing that, what has been created is these pentagonal shaped boxes within our physical brain. And so they're like, they're specifically like a little pentagon, a 5-sided container, because it's a closed grid container. And so we're taking our consciousness, we're sitting in these little boxes, and we're listening to a book being read, and we're communicating that to create, to the body to create. And so what is that? So the book being read is the collective beliefs, what it means to be a man or a woman, and what you're told, and so on. And the boxes are, the edges of the boxes are created by the parameters of my belief system in terms of what I can and can't create. And so example of that would be if I say to myself, like, how do I create money? So whatever my limited belief system around created money creates the edges of these boxes. So the idea of a soul fragmentation is this whole process, basically, is that my library of information basically fragments when I take on a belief system of something, and then I become it. And so the fragmentation occurs, and then I imprint that belief system. And so what this series, and it's a whole large series, but this particular one with jealousy is about, it's about restoring the original soul fragment, the fragmentation involved with the idea of the imprint of jealousy. So we're bringing that back. And so how does a soul really fragment? Well, the fragmentation, like I said, occurs when we take on a belief system. So an example might be, say I'm a little kid and I'm just playing in the dirt. And so I'm a little girl and I'm playing in the dirt, and somebody comes along and says, a girl doesn't do that. And you're like, oh. And so suddenly you stop and you shift your own energetics. So that would be, a fragment. So at that point, if that were me, then I would have fragmented my soul. And now I'm imprinting what I believe, a girl would do. And in this case, maybe I'm imprinting like a rigidity, some kind of a standing up proper. And why this is important, because the way that this works, shows up in your life, could be, say, later in life, I'm going to choose a career. Well, if I, in essence, in this fragmentation, took away freedom, flexibility, movement, so many different things that are connected to that, then when I go and choose a career, I'm going to choose it in relationship more likely to something that I can do instead of something that I want to do, because I will be in that rigidity, that energetic. So this is how it plays out in all aspects of your life, which is why it's important, to restore these soul fragmentations and these imprints. This is also what quantum entanglement is. It's when I forget that I'm actually source consciousness having an experience called Cathleena, and I become Cathleena instead. Who have I become? And so this is what this whole series, and really is what I do in general. It's kind of helping you wake up to that. But this particular one, and this one with jealousy, and jealousy is a huge piece. Jealousy causes you to be in a confused state of beingness, because it's like having a jealousy towards something means that you don't know who you are or what you are, or any kind of foundation of who you are. And the series that I do is all takes you through, of course, the entire body, because the body is everything. This is the millionaire, this is the relationship, because I'm consciousness having experience for the body. So it takes you through all the body's systems and then the brain itself to clear these, because this is, it's playing out. And through doing, taking you through the body systems really takes you through how it's been playing out in the various aspects of what you see as your chronological life and your independent life. That's kind of in a nutshell the course of what we're doing. And I recommend it to everybody and anybody, really, and that's because I know that may be another thing that's coming forward, is that everything that I do, I think is absolutely beneficial for anyone, everyone, really, because it's only helpful. Everything that I do, and then this course is a big one, because, releasing this imprint of jealousy allows you to come into starting to have a much greater awareness of yourself and who you are, why I'm here. It's everything that I do is about that. So all beneficial, very helpful.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So that we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little bit later, but that's that 9-week program that Cathleena is talking about. And so, you just mentioned some key points about the body, right? How important the body is. So, so that the soul fragmentation and how it's connected to the body and its importance is basically, and with respect to jealousy, that's part of the 9-week program that we're going to talk about again a little bit later, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everything that I do is in the 0 point, so it's all done in present moment. So that means no matter when you listen, it's in the now moment. Each time you listen, it's in the now moment. And so these are pre-recorded, that you'll have an opportunity, of course, immediately to be able to step into the energetic field. And yeah, I said jealousy is a huge piece that's playing out in the collective. It's there as a a mechanism that pulls you into enslavement and a program, so many other programming and different things that are going on, in your energetic field, and so releasing that imprint is very important, actually, in your whole body and your field. It's also how it's playing out within the physical body. When you have this lack of beingness, of knowing who you are. So we want to think about, remember, the physical body. So the way that I described how we engage in a physical reality is taking this information called you, downloading it into your brain and communicating to the body. Well, you want to think of the body as like a giant mall of people. So I'm either in synergistic communication or I'm not, because the I am that is the one communicating with the body. We're convinced that, go to a doctor and find this out and whatever, but we're the ones communicating to the body. So if I'm in a frequency and energy of, just say, jealousy, and that is a confused state of beingness that's taking place, so I'm confused of who I am, then the authentic communication to the organ systems, to the body, is confused. So, all sorts of things can occur within the physical body, within the heart structure, within the digestive, all kinds of things. And this is just one of the imprints that we do, because we're just not taught who we really are, and that we are literally communicating to our physical body. The physical body is everything. It is the experience in the physical world. And we are literal creators. So we literally create through our thought and our emotion. Every single thought comes out of your head as a geometric shape, and that thought is the blueprint of your creation. It's the paper. Then you add an emotion. The emotion is a frequency. The emotion is the person in the pencil. It's the creative creation part of that. So you take a thought, you add an emotion, you hold it 14 seconds or longer, then it moves into what's called the unified field or the 0 point. It finds a match to that frequency, goes out into the universe and comes back into your reality. So if you're carrying a frequency of, say, jealousy, and think what that frequency is doing, it's a confused state of beingness. So I'm confused. So who's communicating? What's communicating? What's the information that's now communicating? Not only to my physical body, but to my creative process. What am I doing? And so it's no coincidence that when we're engaging with like a frequency of jealousy, we're all over the place, and we have all kinds of emotions of upset and happiness and joy. We don't even know what we're feeling, and the body doesn't know what you're feeling. So it's all kinds of things that goes, with this, and it's way deeper than we're taught, but not in the side of being worried or confused, being in the side of how much power we really have over our lives and our bodies by dropping into that neutrality and taking a look at what am I really doing? What am I experiencing? Who am I? Because that's what this is. It's waking yourself up to, in the privacy of my own self, my own body, what am I doing? Because we're not in what I call, the authentic 0 point. We're in what I call the false 0 point, which is the difference between I got my feet on the floor, I'm looking out my eyes, I'm in my room, but I'm in my head. So if I'm in jealousy, I'm in my head. So therefore, what am I doing? What energy am I dialoguing and communicating to my body, and what am I using to create? So it's like it's a much greater process. And so if I can disengage from that, because the first process is not to flip it from one side to the other, because this is what we're taught. We're taught to go from sadness to happiness or something like that. No, what we want to do is we want to disengage from the sadness, and then we're in that 0 point, and then we discover what happiness is through our own authentic experiences, because that's what we're here for, right? So it's a whole process.
Absolutely. And with the process, like you said, there are stepping stones. I like to think of processes as stepping stones for myself, like step by step, because it's really difficult to go from that state of jealousy or unhappiness or fear or anything to that extreme state of happiness or joy. It's a big jump, right? So I always say, can we at least get to neutral, right? At least get to neutral, and then from there, gradually continue to raise a vibration frequency and really be present with who and where we are and what we are.
Yes, but it's important too that it really isn't, you can't really jump anyway, because we need to disengage from that, which is drop into that 0 point, because it is about matching, right? So we have to disengage from that we match to match something else. Is kind of the way the energy works, because we're energy and frequency. We're just information. So we really are. Our essence is the 0 point, which is the place of no thing and all possibilities. And when we are in that present moment, which we call the 0 point, you're literally one with everything. So which is the difference between in the headspace, we're in the nothingness versus the no thing and all possibilities, and being in that neutrality. And think about it, Joe, just from a really simplistic perspective, right? Why wouldn't I want to just be like, here I am, when I'm by myself, especially, because we have this illusion why we don't do that, and why I always say this is really easy and really hard, because the easy part is, letting go. The hard part is letting go. And why that seems difficult is because we have this illusion of this whole outside world. But if we can just bring it right here and realize this whole idea of this outside world is my interpretation of it in my head. So if I realize that what I'm literally doing in the privacy of my own home is I'm staring inside my head, thinking about and looking at all these characters and all these things and all these emotions connected to that, and I'm making myself by myself crazy or whatever I'm doing. So when you can wake up to that's what I'm doing, for a moment I can go, hold on, okay, if that's what I'm doing, what if I just became the witnessing observer of myself doing that? Well, that's when you drop out of it. that's when you suddenly become like, whoa, okay, whew, here I am, and all these things are there. Then, I can now, my I am presence can decide, okay, what's really happening? What of this do I want? What's really going on here? Instead of this like, because that's how we're taught. We're taught throwing this, because we are energy and frequency, we're all empathic. So there's like information coming at you 24/7, lots of different levels and layers. And then this false matrix is playing out. There are energies that are still here that are wanting you to be in these states of confusion. So they're playing all this out all the time. So when we can just say, oh yeah, okay, well, this is all going on all at once, and decide, okay, well, let me feel. What if I just were right here for a moment? Because that's what it really is. I mean, the only real time is the present moment anyway, and the authenticity of myself is I'm right here. That's the truth. That's divine truth. I mean, that's what divine truth is the zero point. And that's what we're here for. We're only here for experience. So what if I authentically had an experience? Regardless of what I think are my options, how different would my life be? And this is what I'm helping you. The reason, like I said, it's challenging is because we've been attaching. I like to describe it like, imagine that you've been walking in the woods your whole life and you didn't know, and you've been collecting all these chiggers, which are like these sticky things that collect to you. Imagine you've got them all around you, and suddenly you drop into the 0 point and they go, whoo, and you're like, wow, I got a lot of crap going on. Like, that's interesting. So now I can either re-embody it, or I can allow it to go, because everything's about matching frequencies, right? So it's going to find a match. So I'm either going to re-embody it, or I'm going to let it. But now I can become the observer, like, wow, isn't this interesting? Look what I've been doing. Because everything is energy and frequency. My clothes, my room, everything, right? So once we can just observe, it's like, that is my controversial moment when I say it's like suicide, but not like killing yourself, but it's like that letting go. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to let go. So letting go just means I'm going to disengage from that internal holding. If I can just for a moment, now I can feel. And so like that, the jealousy, I can feel like, wow, I have this jealousy. What is that? What am I really jealous about? Because the other thing is if you can imagine, and this is truthful, that every person in your reality is an aspect of you. And we don't want to think that when we're thinking of people that bug us, but they are. It's an aspect of yourself, because it's a quantum field. And this is something that, boy, that hit the throat of a lot of people there.
Yeah.
They don't want to realize that these are all aspects of themselves that are going in. So we bump against like this frequency of jealousy, and we say, what is really happening to me? Because, these are not authentic frequencies at all. They're encompassing lots of different things. So if you begin to even feel like the feeling of jealousy, like what is really happening? Like, I can't really pinpoint it, because it's not a one thing. It's a whole lot of energy that's happening at one time that we're calling jealousy, that's guiding you in different directions. So that's why when I'm working with it, I do a lot of activations, and I'm doing a lot of light language, a lot of different things that are shifting a lot of frequencies and energies at the same time of this thing called jealousy, to move the energies away of all these different influences that are going on.
Yeah.
And just remember, I'm not arbitrarily talking to any of you. I'm very deeply in the energy, and there's a lot taking place that I can feel.
Yeah.
A lot in the throat. Boy, a lot happening.
A lot happening, exactly. And there's a lot of people with their hands raised, and a lot of questions in the chat and the email as well. So do you want to take some questions? We'll see where we go.
Sure.
That always brings up a lot as well, right?
Sure, absolutely.
So Jennifer, you had raised your hand a while ago. You want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, I saw the word jealousy, and I hadn't really thought about that much. But then when I kind of calmed myself down and went to that quiet place, I heard a couple things that kind of surprised me. So I take care of my mom because she's sick, and I've done this for several years, but I think I'm actually jealous of her because she gets taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little speechless by that, because I had never even thought about that until the moment you said this. So I wanted to say thank you, because that's totally new to me, and something that obviously I don't necessarily have to do anything about, but it's a little shocking.
I think that's a great awareness, and I think diving into that and experiencing what that's actually creating as well, because that can create a lot of resentments and just a lot of different separation energy, so that in this idea of taking care of somebody, I'm really taking away, and that is you. So we can say is something I'm doing to the other person, but it's really you're doing it to yourself. So this is something that can begin to wake up a lot more for what's happening to you, and you can begin to dive into, like, what is my life really about? Am I happy? Do I have divine abundance? Am I in a relationship that I like? And these can start to show you why those things are not in your reality. If I'm holding these places of jealousies and resentments and not allowing, then in essence I'm not allowing for those things to be part of my reality. So, and I'm not authentically giving them to give and receive them. So that's a big piece for you, and I commend you for having that awareness and that awakening, and I definitely recommend that you step into this series, because I think it'll be extremely enlightening for you, and really help shift some of the dynamics that are probably taking place between you and your mother, and some of the places that you may have, some of the things that you may have been feeling and are feeling in your life and in general. There's a lot in this energetic that I'm feeling for you.
Great. The other thing, I'm kind of snickering to myself, but it's almost like this will remind me of how much I have been taken care of. I just didn't realize it, from source or divine or even others. Like, I haven't really admitted what I have, because I've been so lost in what I don't when I help another right now.
Yeah, I love that. And the more, remember, because we're creator beings, so now you're shifting your focus, you're shifting your thought and your emotion, which is going to totally shift your reality in amazing ways. So I love that. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Jennifer. And then in the chat, there was a question from Vivian. And what can I do to heal a broken heart with ease and fill it with joy of life?
Well, we have to go deeper into what this idea of broken heart is. We have to look at, like, where often what happens when we have this idea of a broken heart, sometimes we're playing the victim, and there's never a victim. Okay, where that can be in the victimizer roles, where we're feeling something happened, it occurred. I think if we're able to get into neutral first, drop into the neutrality and really revisit the relationship, and revisit from a witnessing perspective of yourself in it, it really helps to expand the energetics, expand the dynamics there, to get kind of a clearer view of what this is about for me. That's what it feels like for me. It feels like really expanding the view. Like I said, sorry, so much coming through. Wow, a lot about who we are. But I hope that's helpful for you. I know that we feel at a loss, but if we can be in the present moment and really begin to say, okay, what am I truly feeling? And what is it about this person or this relationship? It's taking a deeper dive into the reality of what that relationship really has been, and what is it still in my own self. That's really what I would say to that.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. Let us know how that resonates with you. We're going to go to Tanya Caldwell. You want to unmute yourself?
Hello, Cathleena.
Hi.
Happy to see you both. I just started typing my question about how about our family and our children, and you started talking about everyone in our life is part of our expression. So I stopped typing, and I go through lots of changes, and I'm fine with that. You know, I'm getting somewhere, but my son is going through depression, and even though I understand that I shouldn't keep him in this feeling sorry about him place, because in a way I keep him in this kind of place probably by feeling sorry about him. But why he's in my life having depression, and how I can move this picture so I can help him heal, if I'm clear. I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, it's just so much going through the throat. It keeps making me want to choke. Hold on 1 second. I may have to jump into an activation to get this to clear because there's just so much coming through the throat. So first of all, Tanya, I feel like that it's important to be in a place of neutrality with your son. So dropping into the authentic present moment, you know, really being in, you know, the 0 point, which is the place with no judgment. So it's authentically opening your heart space to this energetic, and in that, then we can, we're not trying to fix or feeling responsible or any of those energetics, because we're not. Okay, we're all source consciousness. And so being able to provide that space, then the authentic emotion of what he's feeling has to come forward. Because remember, the 0 point is not zero. It is the no thing in all possibility. It is source consciousness. We are source consciousness. We are fifth dimensional higher beings. So and everything's about matching frequencies, right? About where we are. So and by universal law, faster moving frequencies always try to raise slower ones up to match them, right? So if I'm representing the 0 point, then I'm representing the highest frequency there is. So no other frequency can sustain itself in that field except source. So if you're able to be in that authentic neutrality and then just talking with him, and that's what I would do, is I would ask questions. I'd be more saying, okay, so, you know, what is it that you are feeling? Why do you feel that you're having this? How is your life? Are you happy? Do you know what happiness is? What direction would you like to be going if you felt that you had freedom? If you feel like you don't, what is it that is really that you're genuinely feeling? And this is where I feel if you can be in that neutrality, you're supporting the space for him to begin to talk about it if he chooses to. But you're definitely supporting the space for that depression to lift. And because what I feel that he's showing up as depression is just a confused state of beingness. He doesn't know, and it's very much stuck around his solar plexus, which is his identification. He doesn't know how to identify. So you want to help him just identify himself through his own experience. And that's the best way to do it, right? It's just, I'm going to support the space for this. I'm going to be in a place of authentic neutral. You know, authentically, I'm supporting it. I have care, but I'm in a neutral space, right? And give him opportunity to share if he chooses to. But even if he didn't in that space, that's the best thing you can do for him, because it'll start to lift out those energetics. You know, at the same time, of course, you want to work with yourself and your own, which you are doing, being here, and certainly, you know, the courses, and I definitely recommend the jealousy course is a big one as well. But you know, being in that space of your own self, of like, am I a good parent? Am I, you know, those dialoguing that you're also working through, you know, on your own. So continue to do your own work. That's separate, and remember that he chose you as a parent for a reason, and he's also a source consciousness. So kind of the bigger idea is that can we start seeing, or are we able to see through the eyes of source, as everyone as source? You know, is this that's what our kind of goal is. Can we do that? And yes, certainly family members can be challenging, but the more that we can do that in that kind of support space, that's the best that we can do.
Yep. Thank you so much, Cathleena. There is only one little, like, because as you said, we live in this false matrix. That school is calling me, and you know, and I have to respond, and I have to kind of ask him to go to school, and he doesn't want because he doesn't feel happy there. So it is still a little bit more complicated than it would be if we just lived without having to do things and having to go anywhere.
Well, and those things, but the thing is if you're able to start with this in that neutrality and communicating, you'll have a better communication about what's really going on, you know, and you'll help him come into a greater awareness about what he's really feeling. Because right now, like I said before, there's so many energies that are going on, and he's got a lot of different things that are going on at one time. And so being in and this is just a first step. This isn't like a staying in the space and being, you know, forgetting about stuff going on. This is about a way of being. So what I'm describing is like how I'm showing up here. I'm showing up in the 0 point. If I were showing up in any place that I had an opinion, you would feel it. If I had a judgment, if I had I want to correct something, you would feel that. That's a very different field of energy. So this is what I'm saying. Begin in that field, try to carry that field, and from that, you can have a greater awareness. You can also carry that field with the people at school, with the ones you're communicating with, again, so you can get a better feel for what's going on. And this is how we as a collective can actually start to shift a lot of things that are going on in the collective as well. So it's about you being able to be in that neutrality, continuing to show up as that, and getting better authentic communication. Because right now, when we're not in that, we're not getting authentic communication, and it's just going to be bouncing and all over the place. Okay, so this is just the beginning steps of unwinding the story. Yes, you're going to have absolute human story, absolute stepping in, but the most important is being in that place of neutrality internally first and foremost, and encouraging that. Right, this is the greatest. This is the way of the greatest possibility of the outcomes going in a direction that works together and is smooth. You see what I mean? And yes, there's a lot that's going on, and there's no one answer, right? But there's a very different, though, way of being, and this is what keeps coming forward, is the way of being. If you can be in that neutrality, that 0 point, that's one of the most important.
Thank you so much. Thank you. A lot of help for me. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Alara. Thank you, Cathleena.
Awesome. Thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
So then there's a question in the chat from Andrea, who's asking about, is jealousy and unworthiness similar or different?
I think that unworthiness is encompassed inside of jealousy, or it's what can trigger jealousy to occur.
Makes sense. Yeah. And then let's see, Simone wrote, I think this is the first piece, only piece, I'm not sure. But she says, because of jealousy and the behavior and actions I received, I made myself more and more small, held myself back to avoid those experiences and keep myself, well, it didn't work out at all. I think it means keep myself small. It even went into health issues. Can you look into that and into the fragments lost? That sounds safe. Yeah, I figured it was safe, Simone. Thank you. Oh, safe. I keep myself safe. Yeah, okay, got it.
I'm not sure what the question is that's in there.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, what's the specific question, Simone? So yes, the jealousy and behavior and actions against you made you feel small. Go ahead,
about
Simone.
decisions. It's about the decisions I made to keep myself safe and split fragments off. And there's a lot of stuff more because it already happened in the childhood and it went through all this life. I'm not even aware what decisions I made.
Yeah, well, that's why I think that this course would be really great for you to be able to, clear out a lot of the jealousy that you've been experiencing. But this all comes down to getting to know yourself better. So definitely, I would say with the course, but it's also being the witnessing observer of yourself, getting to know, who are you? I had a lot of jealousy towards me in different timelines in my life when I didn't know who I was as the 0 point, and it was occurring because of interpretations of what people had of who they felt I was, not knowing what the truth was within the energy. And so, if we don't know who we are, and then we're feeling so many different energies, and we adjust ourselves in relationship to what we're feeling, then we're constantly bouncing around through this energetic field. The way out of that is when we can become neutral and just notice and start to say, hold on, what am I doing in relationship to this? And when we, change that behavior within ourselves, then everything changes within our own reality.
And with respect to the actions that she may have made that she's not even aware of during childhood or previous times, all that can also be healed, cleared, released, etc. through the program, because you go through different age cycles, right?
Yes, and you begin to wake up, because time is not linear, time is spherical, so it doesn't really even matter sort of in the sense of, I had these in my childhood, whatever, it's that you're carrying those things now. So they will become lifted out through this particular series as a part of what occurs. But also as you continue to let go and be the witnessing observer of yourself, you'll start to notice your own behaviors. Like, what am I doing? Why am I, not talking in this particular situation? Or, what am I doing? You start to notice yourself. But yes, this series will help you with that, because it will uncover through the activations and lift out kind of out of your energetic field some of the things that you may not have known were there, for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps, Simone.
You're part of it, because I remember stuff and it feels like there is still more. There's still more. The change already happened because I started to see my own interactions. If you allow someone to act in a certain way and not stepping up for yourself.
Well, again, you want to have the idea that everything in my reality is a reflection of myself. So if all we're doing is matching frequencies, then if something is in my reality, it's matching me for some reason. So if people are jealous of me in some way, it's matching me for some reason. Then I'm carrying something in relationship to that. Either I'm backing away or I'm carrying a certain energetic, something that I'm doing that's bringing that forward. And that's what you begin to wake up to, is like, who am I? What am I doing?
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Simone. Okay, there was a question from in the email. There was an email question came in earlier today from Carrie, and she said, if one is in the 0 point, how would you align with where you want to be to manifest? I moved on a sign, and now I'm feeling in a holding pattern. It was a 180 and provided sanctuary. Now I want to integrate in my community. So I'm not sure what everything about it, but the main part, if one is in the 0 point, how would you align with where you want to be to manifest?
Well, you begin to allow for your intuition to guide you, and if it's guided in a way of joyfulness and excitement, exhilaration, curiosity, that would be the direction that I would go into. And when she's talking about making a 180 and then having kind of a pause point, well, often that will occur because there needs to be an integration within my life, within my body, of what I'm really doing. And often that integration is to help us stay out of our ego. Because, you know, we get divine guidance, and we're in that 0 point, and we're in that intuition and so we make steps. But then, you know, we start to get bombarded with all the things that we've known before, anything like that. And if we go into any places of doubt or fear or anything like that, then we're unintentionally opening up portals for more of those to begin to come in. And that's often what can start to occur, is we can start to have different questioning or things that going on. So there'll be kind of a pause point in our energetics to help us recognize that and disengage from that, so that we can continue to move down the authentic path. Because, you know, there are a lot of things that are going on around you. It'd be kind of like if you were living with somebody that they're constantly chatting to you, and your mastery would be to not try to shut them up and have, you know, they're chattering, but you have an awareness on how that is penetrating you or not, you know. So it's not a pushing, it's not a shoving, it's just a simply being aware and starting to have a greater awareness on why that's in my reality. You know, that's the mastery that's taking place here. So hopefully that made sense.
Awesome, thank you.
Sure.
All right, Tamara N, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So thank you for the people that came up, because it disconnected so many dots for me in regards to somebody being jealous of me, a sister. And, you know, upon quick reflection of that, it was like I was really jealous of her. But in the meantime, what I did was I chose to stop receiving. Mm-hmm. And the other aspect, I guess the main aspect is, now both of these people have transitioned, so we can still work with the energy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So the one that's still lingering hugely within my body is, I was jealous of my father. Mm-hmm. When my stepmother came into the scenario. And that energy is still playing within me, and he's passed 20 years now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can release that energy of your father. I mean, you want to do that with divine forgiveness, and we can do that if you want. I mean, we can lift it now.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm. So if you just want to close your eyes, and we're just going to energetically just release this energy of your father with absolute sovereignty and divine forgiveness. Forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you. Compassion for me, compassion for you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you. Let's take a deep breath. We're going to release this from the conscious, subconscious, and cellular memory. Isa mukita ki mukita pa ino shimina mukita makotas. Isa maneta to klimala la kosimina kotabosh. I'm just going to detach this from your heart space, because you also have resentment in here. So it's not just a jealousy. There's some resentment
Yes.
for him and for what his energetics. So we allow for this divine forgiveness. So I'm going to detach this, and he's very present. So you want to really acknowledge that you have love and compassion for him and his life, and that you are releasing this with absolute sovereignty and divine forgiveness. Forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you. Compassion for me, compassion for you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you. And I'm going to open up your heart space. I'm going to open up to your throat. I'm also going to release through your eyes. This is connected to men and male in your life in general, so it's going to release this out. Past, present, and future in all space-time continuum, my conscious, subconscious, and cellular memory. We're going to imagine little particles floating out of your eyes, like dirt, just letting that go. It's all limits, limitations, judgments, worthiness programs, fear programs. This is definitely connected to the false masculine. It's all masculine energy. So I'm just going to expand your energetic field. Take a deep breath. It is done and so, it is done and so. I am free, I am free, I am free, I am that. Keep that back, keep those I'm just going to bring this into the present moment for you as your crown is completely up to Prime Creator, your root into Sophia Gaia is above, is below, is below, is above. And we're going to imagine energetic roots coming out your feet, out your legs, wrapping around the crystalline core of the earth. And we're going to bring this into the heart space. Okay. And where this is also, you know, for you is to a continual releasing of this. It's like an anger, like, I mean, there's a lot more that can take place. I definitely recommend, you know, if you have opportunity to have a private session, because there's a lot more I could release with this. But this piece is definitely shifted within your energetics. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thank you ever so much. Lots of tears are just allowed to release, and
Yeah.
you know, shaking and shifting of the body, feeling that energy shift, and just really bang on, you know, like the resentment and the anger. It's like, for the last 8 months, it's like I've just been in this the you know, the movie The Groundhog Day, just spinning my wheels, and you know, and the throat stuff you guys are probably feeling from me because I've been stuffing and suppressing that anger.
Yeah, so a lot of that, so that's all coming forward now, and that's all the releasing in this. I'm going to do an activation here for the group that's also going to help with this, so stay tuned for that as well.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Thank you, Tamara. Okay, there's still some more questions in the chat, but I want to just take a few minutes and talk about the packages. We talked briefly about it already, but let's talk a little bit more. Hold on, let me just, oops, 1 second. Let me just click on the right thing. I'm going to share my screen. I hope. Okay, yeah. So you should be able to see my screen now. So there are 2 packages that Cathleena is offering. It's the Restoring the Original Soul, Fragmentation, and Releasing the Imprint of Jealousy 9-week series, which is package A, and package B is everything in package A, plus a 50-minute private Zoom session with Cathleena. And for both packages, payment plan is available. And of course, if you are an Inner Circle member, please do use your gift code. So for the first package, it's the 9-week series, right? And did you say that this is pre-recorded or? Yes, pre-recorded. Yeah. Okay, so it goes over 9 weeks and in different parts of the body, right?
Yes. And I know people typically ask what type of, you know, how often to listen to them. I always say whatever your intuition is suggesting, but I feel like maybe 1 a week would be to listen, and you can listen to it more than once during that week, but that would be what I would suggest.
Okay, so it goes over 9 weeks and in different parts of the body, right? Yes. And I know people typically ask what type of, you know, how often to listen to them. I always say whatever your intuition is suggesting, but I feel like maybe 1 a week would be to listen, and you can listen to it more than once during that week, but that would be what I would suggest. Awesome. So here, there's lots of information about the brain and body, first starting with the cardiovascular system, that digestive and urinary system, the endocrine, lymphatic, etc. So all the information about the different systems in the body are all listed here. As I thought there was something else, but
Yeah, and these are all, this is kind of a layering on how this is released from the body. So this, which I read, I think probably what's written here is probably what I'm reading. So that's one level of releasing, and then I go into an activation portion, which is a deeper level, and then it continues to move through your physical body. So yes. And it's
because
moved through the
like you said too, Kathleen, like everything is happening through our body, so it needs to be released through our body as well.
yes,
Not just
everything.
energetically, not just in our minds, not just in our emotions, but also through the body, right?
Yes, because everything is energy and frequency, and it's all through the body. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's all that information there. And then of course the package B includes everything in package A plus the 15-minute session. So what can people expect in a personal session with you?
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm a calibrator, and so the first thing I always ask is what brings you, and so then I give opportunity to share whatever it is that's going on with you, whether it's on a physical, emotional, spiritual level. I'm able to look at your entire field, so I'm able to look at all lifetimes, all this lifetime, anything in the physical body, anything, emotionally, all sorts of different things. So whatever comes forward is what we then shift and change, and I'm speaking to you. I'm also doing activation, and so it's catered to wherever your energetics are individually. So yeah, it's pretty packed with lots of shifts and changes that take place.
Yes. So again, these two packages, the 9-week series, and then the 9-week series plus the 15-minute per private session with Cathleena are both available, packages A and B. So please do take a look at them. And if you can, definitely book the private session. I highly recommend the sessions with Cathleena. They are quite transformational. So definitely you will find a change for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So just check my so Jill is asking if we do the program, the 9-week series, I guess, do you think our children will benefit outside of us being a bit more normal? I don't know about normal. I mean, will they have an energetic correction?
That's cute. Well, yes, in that anything that you are shifting and changing is going to affect, of course, anybody that you're biologically connected to, but even anyone in your environment, because the frequencies are changing and because everything is about matching frequencies. So yes, there's a caveat in that sometimes the changes aren't always what we are anticipating, because and I've described this before. If you think of matching frequencies as just emotions, and faster moving frequencies always try to raise slower ones up. So an example would be if you and I came around each other and I'm happy and you're mad, I'm going to irritate you because I'm vibrating in a faster rate and my happy is trying to raise you up. So as long as I stay happy, you only have two choices. You either get happy with me or you go away. So, when you are shifting your frequency to a higher frequency, you're going to, bother those that are around you. So sometimes, yes, the effects on the children or the partner or whatever, maybe that they're irritated. It depends on where they're energetic. So, but just know that may be part of what is occurring, but that it isn't a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah.
It's something that can shift things. So the important part in that is staying in that neutrality. Okay, practicing being in that neutral point over and over again. This is the key to communication. It's the key to anything. Because that
And
way.
so overall, in the long run, it is helpful
Of course.
People around you. Yes.
Of course, it's always, everything is very helpful, of course, but that's what I think is important to have, and I love the word understand about this process, is that, you know, people have this idea about what they think enlightenment is and what they think awareness is. It's going to be, you know, like peaches and cream and all this, you know, happiness, and not to say it isn't, it is, but we have been so guided to be in these pathways of everything's backwards. And so the way that we've been taught of what safety is actually entrapment, encasement, and all these different things. So when we come across what authentic emotions are, it can be very confusing. And you know, from what we think safety, what we're taught is holding something. Holding something is actually entrapment, encasing, it's enslavement. It's not at all freedom. It's not at all, you know, what we have been taught. So
Yeah.
Just flipping the coin on things.
Great question, Jill.
Yeah.
All right, so we wanted to do an activation. I always love your activations, Cathleena.
Yeah.
I always look forward to them. They're always, I can definitely feel them right away. So, and for some of you, you may have been feeling the energies, the transmissions during the whole call, you know, so if you've been feeling a little bit more tired, wanting to check out a little bit sometimes as well, right? That's okay. That's just part of the energy, the work that Cathleena is doing behind the scenes as she's speaking. It's definitely, I perceived it for sure, you know, so it's not just always just the yawning and stuff, but sometimes you just might feel, I don't know what the word is, but like you want to fall asleep, you know, so it's like you're not yawning, but you want to just lie down and go to sleep. That's also the energy doing its thing. So that's inviting you to be in that 0 point. So we're gonna, yeah, Tanya said I felt it from the beginning. Okay, so it's not just me.
Yes, there's a lot of energy here, and it does have a like a heaviness that's going on, so it's making everybody feel a bit sleepy and so on. So I'm gonna lift a lot of this out, because I can feel there's a lot of mental energy here, and it feels like that more nothingness than the no thing and all possibilities, because I can feel where, you know, a lot of people that are here, they have awareness, they have, you know, there's different things going on, but it feels like there's a bit of a heaviness in the energetic. So I'm going to lift this out. I'm going to shift some of these things. We're going to shift some of the energy that's taking place within your lives to be able to bring you, all of you, into a greater sense of the authentic 0 point, to wake up. And I'm going to encourage the intuition to be able to come in a bit more here. So, all right. So if we're ready, let's just everybody close your eyes and take some deep breaths. And as you know, I make a lot of sounds. I do a lot of strange things, so just go with it, whatever occurs. Sarakati, Sorigaro, Sinmo, Badabo, Salat, or Questionnaire, Cote Babawaya, Esmina Basaraga, Shikala, Shij, Husa, Papa, say, Luila, Baby of this Cote Bela. Sida, yes, Riva, the Cosimega Lokia, Simira Bacala Baba Squats. Imasarek is Imasinima, Imala Casinimo, the Sumina Batella, or the Master got the Mira Asarikatish, Isminegos, Asarikosima, Sana, Samira Batalla, Cosimina. Take a deep breath. Several contracts and agreements, seen and unseen, known and unknown, to forget who I am, to play small, to hide, to play in this matrix, past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum. Several contracts and agreements with absolute sovereignty And divine forgiveness, forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you. Compassion for me, compassion for you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you. Take a deep breath. I'm opening up the portals in your feet, allowing you to root completely into the crystalline core of Sophia Gaia, taking away all fear, fear of the unknown, fear of moving one with the earth. We are with the earth, not on the earth. Fear of letting go, past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum. Releasing this fear with absolute sovereignty and divine forgiveness. Forgive me, forgive you, love me, love you. Compassion for me, compassion for you, gratitude for me, gratitude for you. Take a deep breath. I'm going to drop you into the crystalline core of Sophia Gaia, calibrating, integrating all elements, earth, fire, air, water, ether, and the diamond blue plasmic flame of the sixth element to all aspects of self, mental, physical, spiritual, etheric. Calibrating, integrating the quantum level of your carbon DNA to your crystalline DNA, to your original human genome, to your original human blueprint, to your I am presence, past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum. Take a deep breath. I'm opening your crown, completely prime creator. I'm going to pull through your solar plexus, a golden light. This is you before you ever came into form. I'm going to spin this through all timelines, all dimensional fields, all this lifetime, clearing through all archetypal energy, gender role confusion, any victim-victimizer frequencies, holographic inserts, consciousness traps, universal timeline loops, any 5G sonic frequencies, COVID or viral frequencies, past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum. And we're going to bring this golden light into your central and peripheral nervous system, brainstem, brain, all becoming golden, all connecting to all the organ structures, past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum, and aligning you with the golden grid network of Sophia Gaia. Take a deep breath. I'm also going to bring in a very high frequency diamond white light into your bones, so your bones becoming bright, bright white, your skull, your spine, your arms, your legs, all. This is the Christed body. This is the highest form of you and physicality, and we're going to align this with the crystalline grid network of Sophia Gaia. Past, present, and future, and all space-time continuum. I'm also going to call in the 18th dimensional diamond consciousness of water. We're going to bring in divine clarity and divine flow. And we're going to bring this into the fluid systems in your body, the brain fluid, the spinal fluid, the interstitial fluid, lymphatic fluid, all the fluids in the body becoming divine clarity and flow. It is done, it is so, it is done, it is so. I am free, I am free, I am free. I'm going to bring this calibration into this present moment. Your crown is completely open to Prime Creator. Your root into Sophia Gaia, as above is below, as below is above. So we begin to imagine energetic roots coming out your feet, out your legs, wrapping around the crystalline core of the earth. These are crystal clear roots. As I'm bringing you into your physical body, I'm going to open up all portal systems in your 100% brain to access points to your multidimensional self, to know who I've been, who I am, why I'm here. This information is going to come in at the quantum level of your DNA. It's just going to be a knowing, just a guidance system, just opening up that guidance system. I'm also going to bring in a pink and blue light with that golden light into the central and peripheral nervous system, brainstem, brain. This is Divine Mother, Father, balancing out that Hieros Gamos. And I'm going to pull through your heart space. Golden, pink, and blue light spinning through all timelines, all dimensional fields, all this lifetime, bringing into balance, into this present moment, the 0 point, your I am presence. I'm going to bring you right into this 0 point. It is done, it is so, it is done, it is so. I am free, I am free, I am that. And so it is. And so it is, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, wow, that was powerful. I had like, yeah, Jill says, wow, I was right. I had eyes watering the whole time. My
Yeah.
I was yawning the whole time.
So I'm going to encourage everybody, because you're now very much in the 0 point, journal, think about, what you really want to create, bring in the emotions of excitement, exhilaration, curiosity. You have a big opportunity, and now you have a familiarity with what it feels like. Revisit this calibration, this energetic for this, but you can do this in this present moment now. I've opened the space very much for this. We're very much in this, and I'm supporting that field. So yeah, and really this is not thought, this is your heart. So anything, don't think about how to do it, don't think about even if it's possible. The more that you can generate that and bring that out, you're bringing that into the collective, you're bringing that into your reality, you're bringing this into your world. So I encourage you. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, lots of wonderful comments in the chat about how powerful it was, outstanding, calmer, beautiful. It was just, like sometimes you can't even just really have words to describe what you were experiencing, what you're feeling, and just everything at once. It was amazing. So please, everyone, drink some water.
Yeah.
Definitely go back and watch or listen to the whole call again, but do go back and do this piece again for sure. My throat is still working through some of the energies and intensity. So know that for yourself too. You might be also experiencing something. It's okay. Just be with it, right? Just be with it.
Yeah.
Enjoy the space. And, like Cathleena said, think about what it is that you want, right? What you want to experience, what you want to create, etc.
Yeah. You have opportunity now to really create. This is a big creation, 0 point. So I would encourage you.
Gail says, wow, I felt energized as the energy moved into my body through my chest, couldn't stop moving. Awesome. Catherine says, thank you so much. Gratitude and love to you all. Thank you very, very much. I feel stitched up and very grateful. Thank you. Good.
Oh,
Awesome. So of course, if you'd like to work more with Cathleena, please do check out the packages. There's a 9-week series, and then there's a 9-week series plus the 50-minute personal session. So you can just a small little taste of what that is like. So please do take advantage of these wonderful life transforming packages for yourself. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Cathleena.
You're welcome.
Always so wonderful. I absolutely love it when you come.
Yeah.
It's always such a high vibe and such a transformational call for sure. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for providing the platform and your energetics. And and everybody here, just know that all of you are amazing beings of light. This is a quantum field. We're all one. So everything you see in me is in you. So don't underestimate yourself. Show up. Have great love and gratitude for your own self. All this is about self-love. Remember, if we don't have self-love, we don't have love. Because I am you and you're me. So love this one.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you everyone for your questions, comments, and feedback. I know we didn't get to everyone, but it was such a wonderful call. So thank you for being here, co-creating the space with us and for us as well. And yeah, it's Friday, so enjoy the weekend, right? Enjoy the weekend, enjoy Friday. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Thank you. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.